this is MK424 here, and today I'm going to be showing you some of the effects which I used to create some of my videos. Today's episode we're going to be looking at Nyan cat invasion. Now a lot of you guys have have liked this video, which is great to hear. So I'm pleased to show you how I did everything. I'm just going to go over a couple of clips today which I think might be quite beneficial for you. Well, this is the first clip. Right, to start off with, the first thing which I did was I brought the footage into After Effects, of course, and then I rendered it through as a JPEG sequence. I'm trying to explain it. You probably know the basics of rendering, but if you don't, I'm going to just go through it quickly just in case. You'd go to Composition, Add to Render Queue, then you'd go to your Output module, and then what you do for the format is you'd change it to JPEG sequence. Now within here, we're going to set the format to 6, because what I'm going to be doing with the footage is I'm going to be bringing it into Buju, which is a track motion software which will interpret your footage into 3D, well, the 3D track, and you don't really need full 10 quality, so I'm going to stick with 6. Then you go OK and OK, and then you're going to set an output and you're going to render that through. And then I'm only going to be covering After Effects tutorials, but from there I'd open it up in Buju, track the footage out. It's pretty much all automated. You just sort of set a few basic key settings, and then you drag the final clip into After Effects again. You open it up, and it provides you with a, if I can find it, with a camera which has all the data that you need for other 3D pieces of data that you're going to put into this. 12 here, this 12 means that this is the base clip with nothing else. It's just the base clip. And yeah, we started off, we backed off quite slowly and into each other like that. But what we had to do in post after this in my previous comp was I actually had to speed up. As you can see here, the speed remap, it had to crush those two keyframes down, and also brought the camera and changed the scale, as you can see around the sides. These are going to be quite advanced tutorials, so a lot of it's up to you to work out, but I'm just going to be running over and breaking down my footage. Right, so first things first, I added in muzzle flashes, because these weren't real guns, if you couldn't tell. For example, I had to. These are from Video Copilot's Action Essentials 2, and they are very useful in a lot of situations. I mean, you see them in a lot of places now, so what I'm thinking of doing is actually adapting a load and making them more original, so that it's less repetitive for everyone, because everyone's seen the same muzzle flashes and blood spurts and everything constantly, thanks to Video Copilot, which isn't a bad thing. Thank you, Video Copilot, but you know, everyone's just using it so much. It's been so successful. So yeah, so I just added in muzzle flashes, quite a few of them, to be honest. Yep, still going on the list there. Yep, still going. Keeps going. This took bloomin' ages to add all the muzzle flashes. Because this is a long shot. I think this is actually the longest shot in the video. Almost 13 seconds. And it's just a constant pan, constant shots and everything. So what I did next was, within my Nyan, I took a basic video of a Nyan cat. And then what I did to that was, hang on, let me just solo this. I took the basic video of a Nyan cat, and what happened was okay. I took the basic video of just this portion of the Nyan cat. Then what I did was then I masked out the Nyan cat for every one of its, I think it was 7 movements. It's been a while, but it has about seven frames, and it goes back and repeats. So I masked the cat out itself for those 7 frames, and then I masked out 2 portions of the rainbow, and then duplicated them, selected more, duplicated them, and made it really long. Well, a lot longer than it already was. Then after that, I rendered it all out into this layer which you see here, and then I just masked the end and feathered it, and it gets a really nice effect. Because you see in a lot of people's videos, the rainbow literally cuts out there, and I personally didn't like that, so I went in and changed all that. I actually made them move and everything, so to often see them moving in people's videos. So that's another thing. As I said, this video took me blooming ages. So I added the Nyan cats in like so, and they've all been tracked in 3D thanks to Buju, as you can see here. Yeah, so they all came along, did their thing. Like so. And then I added in, next thing was the rainbows when they were shot. I'll be covering these a little bit later as well. I simply took the rainbows from the Nyan cat, which I'd previously made on the Nyan cat itself, masked them out into a 100 by 100 comp, and then I used it with Trapcode Particular. I then tracked them to, I think I put them as the position of the Nyan cat layers. I think it's been a long time since I've done it. No, it's just point. So I actually positioned them in 3D until I got them roughly where I wanted them, like so. Now this doesn't look very powerful, as you can probably tell, so I added in some particles, little particles like this, and for these particles I simply got a load of round solids, and with that I just turned up the velocity and the air resistance, because what this did was they shot out, but then they came to a slow and stopped. Also changed up the birth length, the death time. Anyway, when I added that on, it managed to just stop in 3D, and it just looked really good, I thought. I mean, I could have made them more visible, but I really didn't need to. They're quite subtle, and they worked well. There we go, that rainbow particle which I made. There it is, right there. Yeah, something else. Oh, optical flares, here we go. Now, these are what really sort of sell it. They really do sell the shot. As you can see, it makes such a difference. It really gives the image of an explosion. I mean, with something like this, you don't even need stock footage of explosions. You can literally just use flares and particles. It really wasn't necessary to use explosions, so that's why I didn't use them. That and because it would have taken a little bit more time, but what can you do? And yeah, finally I just added in a few more colour corrections for the gunshots, each and every single gunshot, and a few more flares and a warp layer using CC radial blur, I think it is, not radial, vector blur, and added that on top to sell the full shot, and we got this. So normally I'm not. Well, what I'm tending to do now is I'm tending to go for the more realistic look rather than the looks like a film look actually at the moment, because in real life you don't always see the flares. I mean, like 1 in 7 you see the flares. So what I'm trying to do is about half of the time you see the flares. I mean, in this video you see them every single time. I mean, they don't look the greatest flares, but you know, they sell the shot. But for For example, with the new Super Mega Beam episode, we have Lawrence and Alex shooting like crazy. I'll cover this in another video, but I only take half the shots from them. So it's basically, you don't need every single shot to be a flare. It doesn't have to be like that. You could just have a few puffs of smoke or something. Right, next shot we have another tracked shot using Buju, and it's just basically it's the same thing throughout the entire video, pretty much the same basic VFX. So there's nothing really much more that I can cover. I mean, you've still got the rainbow particles, the flare, the other smaller particles, the track motion, and a little bit of warp going on there, and yeah, and the muzzle flashes and the change of colour. If you didn't notice, I also changed the colour of the muzzle flashes every single shot, different hue. So that took quite a while, but you know, I just wanted to be all the colours of the rainbow. To you know, so we've got green there, and another green there as a bad example. Blue there. You know, it's just different colours each time. So I think that's just about everything I want to cover for Nyan Invasion. Of course, we have the little electronic ball. You might notice my shadow there. I tried to cover it up with a flare. The electronic ball was just simple advanced lightning layer. Just sent that to omnidirectional, I think it was, or bounce, probably bounce, and then I just changed that colour and brought it all in and just tracked all the shots and brought the other layers in. The bloody Nyan cats, was just a bit of fun. I thought that'd be quite funny to see them so bloody that sounds so dark, but you know, the Nyan cats, okay, Nyan cats. So yeah, I hope that you found this sort of mini tutorial breakdown video useful, and you enjoyed it, to sort of see behind the scenes of MK424. And I'll be releasing a few more videos from my other videos. So yeah, hope that you enjoy the series, and I hope that you learned a lot. This is MK424 signing out.